listen, you'll leave them wanting you to come back, and they'll be anxious to hear all about it. So set that up. Why are you going away and everything? Do that. Okay? Come on. Just grab. Okay.
Ocheli.com.
One, door, one. This is the comedy hour. Door, one. This is the comedy hour. Man talk here. Sidekick, Mrs. Sidekick. Man, crazy accidents in the crack room. One, Uncle the podcast. One, Uncle the podcast. Get the phones ringing. Crack room. Street creep. Podcast. Uncle the podcast. One, Uncle the podcast.
The Ocheli.com radio network.
Morning.
This is a Menacey broadcast. Code red, here we are. Pick up your iPads, your cell phones, and have me and listen to Uncle the podcast. Watch out. If you're sitting down for this, or if you're standing up, you better get ready for this, because it's gonna hit the eardrums. Uncle the podcast.
You are listening to Uncle the Broadcast. My name's Aaron. I'm the nephew-in-law. Here with me is the star of the show, Uncle.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. 3999 is the number.
Man, what a number.
And we're getting there.
Close. We're so close to there, but right now we're here. But when we're there, we'll let everybody know, right, Uncle?
Right.
That's the main point. We're live on the Ocheli Radio Network tonight, as we are every Friday. Ocheli.com. This is 11 p.m. Well, it's after that. Usually it starts at 11 p.m. Eastern. It's 8 p.m. on Pacific time. What's up, Chuck?
Right. Really quickly, here's what I'm going to do for you just real fast. Apologize to the listeners to the age of transitions, and also apologies to regular listeners of Uncle the Podcast Live, because we started late tonight. And we're gonna carry it a little bit over the hour, but normally we begin around 11 p.m. Eastern, which is just about 8 p.m. Pacific, right? And that's what we do. 319-527-5016 is the number to call, and we may limit the time for callers tonight depending on what happens. So get in quick if you can. 319-527-5016. And make it interesting, because Uncle's got a lot to say, and I got a few things to do, so I'm going to bow out and actually not talk during this hour again. Back to Aaron and Uncle.
Hello.
Thank you, Chuck.
Thank you. Now we've got here, I'm going to have, got to say tonight, for next week, I'll be away for 1 week, but I'll be back, and I'll have something to talk about.
Oh yeah,
following week.
You're gonna be away next week, right, Uncle?
Wait. That's what I'm just trying to tell these people.
Yeah, no Uncle show next week, so
it's all
everybody.
up to your show.
No.
You can edit it, or you don't have to do it. It depends what you want to do. I don't know.
We'll see. Yeah, I haven't even thought of that. Maybe
I have.
Well,
because
okay.
it's getting close to going.
What do you think I should do, Uncle? Should I do a show or no? Maybe no. I might take a week off. You're really tempting me here. I might not be here next week.
Well, you're gonna be. Man, you gotta work, though.
Well,
I ain't going on.
Hopefully not Friday night. If I do, then I'm really in trouble, more so than even usual. But yeah, as Chuck was saying, we are taking calls. So call number 319-527-5016.
You better have a hustle, and you better get a call in there. No, it's gonna be eliminated.
It's gonna be eliminated.
Limited for tonight.
It's a limited engagement.
So you better get hustling if you want to talk to me.
Yeah. We're live on Ocelli. We also live stream the video. I'm looking at the different platforms.
Look at this guy with the
It looks
music.
like, yeah, I'm just playing around with graphics because why not? Let's just play with graphics and give people an exciting visual presentation.
There's
for
a lady thing.
the ladied thing.
And smoke.
What is? Oh, the alien.
What we got back down here with the Aryan?
You want?
I
one
like
of-
that Aryan being having a smoke.
Let me see.
I saw that guy with the smoke. What are you doing here?
You-
There's
you mean this?
Poncho.
We got that. We've got the Macho Man.
Macho
there.
Man really
here
savage
it is.
down in here.
This is what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's good.
There we go. Okay, so, yeah, I've got a lot of graphics, and I have to say, Uncle, I have fun with the graphics that we use for the live stream. I really enjoy playing.
I know
around
you're
with them.
playing around with it a lot. I've noticed here.
I mean, why not? Let's make the show interesting, something different. We need to give people something other than what they see elsewhere, and these graphics are a way to do that. Look, this is a photo I took, and I turned it into this. Look at how colorful that is. Isn't that great?
What is it?
I bet
it looks like a train. A chain wheel. A table.
Looks like something.
I can't think right now.
You want to know what it is?
It's part of a train.
It's part of a train.
It's the side door opening.
You are it looks like
That's
that,
what it
doesn't
is. A side door opening.
Well, you're close. This is actually what this is. It's similar to that. This is taken from the inside of an RV that was out in Landers, abandoned on a desert road.
You took that out of there, and how did you get that in there?
Well, it's interesting. The RV, you're only seeing a view from inside the RV, looking out the windows at the desert landscape. But if you could see behind what's in this photo, you would notice that about half of the RV is actually missing, and it's open to the open air because somebody ripped the side off of it. And this is a large Class A size RV we're talking about. Somebody just, wrecked it or left it out on this desert road. They ripped it open.
So you're gonna tell me you were out there, took the picture, came back and made this?
I came back and made that, yeah. And I made these crazy colors because I think they look cool. You can do that kind of magic with the Adobe Creative Suite. I think I did this one in Illustrator. But I've got a bunch of these different landscape photos I've taken. This is another one from Landers. This is just the hike up Goat Mountain. That's the side of Goat Mountain right there, and the view of Landers below, and beautiful wackadoodle looking colors. This is Death Valley. This is Bryce Canyon.
I've told you, you're making money out that house.
What?
Keep working on it.
The Landers house?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the idea, right?
People are renting it out now. I'm sure you probably got some people now.
Yeah, it's actually that. I mean, now that you mention it, that actually is going well. That is something it's been a success. It's not the world's largest business, but it's a success nonetheless. So it's something I am proud of. And so, while I'm out there doing useful things like making money, I'm also doing completely useless things, like taking photos of giant rock and later making giant rock purple with green clouds behind it. There's no purpose in doing that, Uncle. Zero. I didn't make any money doing this.
Oh, well, no.
Yeah.
I'm just taking money.
Pointless.
Speaking on behalf of a private message from a listener, they want to know, because it was brought up on my show, and I think this person is from Germany. I'd really love it if you would call in. I have sent them the international German number.
Oh, yeah.
So they
call in. I'd like to hear from you. I'd like to hear from them.
Right, but I don't want to confuse anybody who's generally listening, because we got the one listener from Germany. So I just got a message from somebody in Germany, and I'm thinking they're listening because they've been listening. And their question is this, because we're entering football playoffs here. They want to know about the dollar bet, because
here we go with
that Cooley never paid.
I agree with that. Yes.
You
Talk to that man. He's supposed to pay. Well, I'm going to have a subject with that.
You are?
Main subject.
Uh-oh.
Cooley, Everybody pay. You've been asking, and we've been telling you, hurry up, bring it here. He's even got a postcard, on the dollar. It's supposed to be his team on the dollar. Mm-hmm. And you gave a good point there, Chuck. Now there's something I'm talking about. So
well, that's our German listener. That's our German listener who calls himself, ready for this, Klaus the Fish, who is messaging me privately on Chatango.
Klaus the
Tango.
Fish, huh? Interesting.
It's a reference to American Dad. You know the fish, the talking fish?
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Talking.
He's supposed to be German. That's the bit.
Oh.
Anyway, Klaus the Fish in Germany said that, and also wants to know if we are going to do another Super Bowl bet or if we're going to bet on the playoffs. So that's what they want to know.
Well, let's just go shoot out for the. Let's just go shoot out for the playoffs because that seemed easier. Yeah, some.
The playoffs are easy.
No, we didn't do the playoffs last year, but we just did the Super Bowl. We do the same thing, but he's not allowed to participate till he pays. It's that simple.
But the point is, I want to make sure. I'm not saying that other people did, and they did, but I'm talking about if Cooley wants to get into this, that would mean $2 off for him. if he's getting into this, because he didn't pay up on the first bill.
Because I was angry on my show, and I came up with a rule, and I decided to call it the Cooley rule. Okay.
Well,
And I said, and this is why this guy's asking you the question, and I think he might have just sent me another message. I'll get to it in a second. But the thing is, the Cooley rule is this: if you don't pay it off in 30 days, you now owe triple.
That's what I said.
And in another,
that's what I would say. Oh,
so,
mind.
You like the Cooley rule, Uncle? You like that?
That sounds interesting.
Now, we can't do it to Cooley.
What?
We can't do it to Cooley because that wasn't part of the agreement to begin with, but he needs to pay up.
Well, he does need to pay up. You got all these other guys, and what's his name? Still, yes, who's talking?
Yeah, we still have what's his name is still on the lam on the loose.
On the loose, and he still has. Well, he's been having he had ill problems, but he hasn't been talking, and he's still waiting on his money. Still on Cooley. I mean,
you're talking about Robin.
Mm-hmm. Robin's still waiting.
I think so.
But the point from the guy in Germany is, and this is what he followed up with, it has been more than a year. All capital letters.
Yeah,
so, there you go. Okay. Thank you, Klaus.
Yeah, the Eagles won. As we remember, that was the Eagles versus Kansas City, and the Eagles ended up coming up on top. So
yeah, and then we won that bet because his team that he picked lost, and he's supposed to pay up. I thought he was supposed to pay up.
Yeah, well, that's what we're getting at here. I mean, the Cooley rule was not instituted at that point. I guess maybe it should have been, but it wasn't. We'll have to see. It could be dangerous coming up with these, doing these wagers on the show. Clearly, we've had problems in the past. Maybe we can pull it off.
Well, you're not in them. I was one in them. You didn't put no
I was
dollar.
not in it. No,
you didn't put no dollar in.
I'm just an observer.
Yeah, I know.
And
so we're trying to investigate.
As an observer,
I was trying to figure out what the bookies are saying over here.
Yeah, it's true. What you're saying is all true. All these things did happen. As the observer, I will say that. Mm-hmm. So it's true what everybody's saying. Mm-hmm. What we do about it, I don't know. We'll see. But we're making a show here. We're having fun on Friday. Uncle the Podcast, the Ocelli Radio Network. People can call in if they want. 319-527-5016.
I have but one call last week, and it was, I know who it was, too.
You do remember who the last caller was?
Jimmy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He called last week.
Yeah, that sounds right. Well, the week before last week. We weren't here last week.
Oh.
It was the week before that.
No, week before that.
It's hard to keep track.
Yeah.
I know that much, yeah. So we're trying to keep track, and we're doing okay.
But I would like to say, though, if people do want to listen to me, we had this discussion before, Sidekick,
Yeah, what's that?
about putting it on for the people to listen, even though I'm not here.
Oh, yes, I know what you're talking
Well,
about.
we have to, let's think about this. Because, heck, you do it one time. Do that one time. Just
Uncle,
one time, and you'll probably hear it coming out better.
I have a retort to this. I'm not sure if you're going to like this. It's a question, actually. My question to you is, what episode number are we on tonight?
999.
Okay, so that means how many episodes do we have in our podcast queue if people go and listen to the podcast on the podcast app?
This would be the 199. This would be this one, but when it's done.
Mm-hmm.
But when this one is done, so it'll be that number.
So there's roughly, and this is a rough estimate.
198.
Yeah, roughly 198 episodes in the podcast list. If you go listen to it on Apple Podcasts or whatever, they're there. They're there every hour of every day, every minute.
Just have to turn on and listen.
So you
from the beginning, if you haven't heard me, from the beginning to now.
You following what my point is here, Uncle?
Yeah. I know exactly what it is.
I'm expressing the futility of entering a quote unquote new episode to the live show when there's just constant content all the time.
Oh, there's
forever,
the Three Stooges
for all of eternity, in theory, which won't be at all, but theoretically. All they have to do is just go to the podcast thing and listen to them. Hell, somebody who's new to the show could go back and listen to episode 1 and binge
and go
listen
all the
to,
way up to it. They'll find out how funny I really am.
Maybe
from that standpoint.
Maybe they should do that.
Yeah, if people want to try to find it.
Try that out, everybody.
Yeah,
we've got Creative Accents in the chat. What's up, Creative Accents?
Crazy Accident.
He's suggesting a new hashtag we need to start using. Hashtag Justice for Cooley.
New hashtag?
I guess. He just created that one.
Wait a minute. Justice for Cooley?
Justice for Cooley. No, why not?
According to Creative Access.
Crazy Accident's talking this thing.
No. You know what? I go with almost every idea Creative Accidents has. This is bad. He's wasted a year not to send $1.
Oh, yeah, I know that. That's true.
So he doesn't deserve justice.
Justice?
Oh, dang. That's intense.
Oh, wow.
This should be lean on Cooley. Or how about he pays a VIG? He's got to pay interest now. This is a year almost.
Yeah.
Right?
Interest, $1 to interest. How's that sound?
$1 to an interest. Yep.
That sounds fair.
Yeah, why not? That sounds about right. I like the sound of that.
Okay, but how often do we apply interest? What, $1 a year? So, he waits 5 years?
Well, it will be 5 years by the time we get it.
If
you think of that way.
I'm thinking we're gonna be waiting a while on this.
I mean, when that would fit.
Oh,
Put the description.
New pair of glasses. Time you got something.
Cooley, we need a call from you. Come on, we need a call. It's been a minute. It was like we're not gonna necessarily.
Here's a phone call.
Oh,
on air. Wait a minute. Who's on? And let's go ahead and talk.
The button's sticky. There we go.
Long time, first time. Random death metaler here.
Whoa!
Death metaler.
Oh my gosh, random death meddler. What's up, man?
What you been up to?
Oh man, this is exciting. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, you know?
Yeah.
Sorry. Was that? It's breaking up a bit.
We're just celebrating the fact that you're calling, man. This is
a celebration.
This is truly awesome.
First caller. Boom.
Yeah.
You know what? I threw it in the chat room. I saw Random Death Meddler in the chat room, and I said, because he pops in and out. Sometimes we don't see him for months, and he pops back in.
Yeah.
I thank you for many things, Random Death Meddler. You are awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I love you. I just want you to know that from the producer. But I said to him just in the chat room, I said, why don't you call in? Because I do that to people in the chat. If I see like 1-2 guys in there, I'm like, hey, somebody call in. You call in. And I just threw it at him, and he actually did it. So welcome, man. Yeah, he's a long time listener, first time caller.
Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
I'm not sure I got much to add to this conversation, but I love the show. Been listening for a long time.
Yeah,
I'm going to say what I think we all want to say is Cooley's lucky he has kneecaps still. Come on now.
Hey, now there's one.
You like that, Uncle?
Oh, is he getting mad?
Oh boy.
I said, Cooley, the people are pissing it off. Yeah, you better get moving.
Oh, man.
Send it out. Send him out.
I might have to get Cooley to call back in because it's been a minute. We need to resolve this. Absolutely.
Well, you gotta be that's your buddy in Ohio. You better start talking to him.
Yeah, it's an Ohio problem, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh man, Random Death Meddler, thank you so much for all that. You've sent me a lot of really cool stuff over the years, man.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for all that stuff.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
did we
reminds
give...
me. I was going to say thank you for that shot glass.
Oh, you did
And I
get
got some. I will mail you off the air or whatever and get your address because I got some stuff to send to you, man.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You sent me.
Should help with the whatever content you've been watching with the old conspiracy DVDs and shows and stuff. I got a ton of that stuff from back in the day.
Nice.
Oh, cool. Awesome, man. Yeah, that would definitely be great. Yeah, I've got quite the collection as well, but yeah, anything you got could be helpful. That's for sure, man. That's cool.
When I get back,
No doubt.
when we get back, we're gonna do the.
What do you guys? What's everybody drinking tonight?
Oof. What do you got, Uncle? You have anything?
I was gonna bring up a couple of a beer or two,
Now?
but I mean, on the way up, but you can't.
Well, yeah,
you can't.
I'm not able to drink for a while, maybe later, but I'll be back. But I'm temporary hiatus. Do you have anything interesting, Random Death Meddler?
I was gonna ask
to drink
you up.
Yeah, I just drank a Sierra Nevada Pale Ale.
Ooh. Do you have a rating from 1 to 10 on that one?
Yeah, what's your rating?
I just heard that Sierra Nevada Pale Ale and Heineken supposedly have never had no fluoride in the water.
Oh, okay.
Whoa,
that's a plus.
They've never had it. Yeah, for whatever it's worth. Yeah, I could be wrong, but I've heard that Heineken and Sierra Nevada Pale Ale do not have fluoride in their beer.
Cool. Dang. Well,
I feel sad. I mean, if I was drinking one and you don't have a drink, I don't like to do that.
Yeah.
But I know that you don't.
You can. Yeah, Uncle, don't let me spoil the mood. You can always still review something. If you come across something that looks good to you, you can get it and then bring it to Friday night. Then you can do a review of it. That's good. We can do that. I might even do a shot glass worth of it, but keep it at that, just as a true tasting. See, I'm a true connoisseur. I don't drink to just become wasted and black out like everybody else out there drinking. I drink it because I enjoy the flavor and I love the review process here at Uncle the Broadcast. So I may actually do that. How about that?
Dude, you're not glad you know where it's at.
How's that for sophistication, right?
I was gonna bring one up.
Yeah, well,
but I mean, I was going to, but as I was in the kitchen going back and forth, what could I bring? And then it turned to me, damn,
it slipped my mind.
Slipped my mind to come up here. I come up here, it was the beer.
Yeah. But back to you, Random. Do you have a scale of 1 to 10 rating for your Sierra Nevada that you had? Where would you rate your drink you had?
I'd give that maybe a 7 or an 8. I prefer hard liquor myself, but I mean 7 or 8 for the beer. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's pretty good. And since you're on here, I want to ask you a couple questions. Like, first of all, I know you got the name Random Death Meddler because you truly are a fan of death metal. What?
For sure, yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to talk just about like maybe your interest in death metal generally? Since you're here, I'd like to hear about it. From how you describe it. I'd like to just hear your story.
I don't know, man. I've just been listening to it forever since I was a latchkey kid off in San Francisco at like 11, 12 years old, going to these concerts and stuff. So
wow,
you're going that young? I mean,
that is young.
You're going that young?
I had this girlfriend one time.
Oh, you had to go with someone though.
I need this girlfriend. She always called me Random Thought Man.
Oh,
and then it just at the time when that came up, and then it just got put together.
Wow.
What's
Now,
That's the origin of that crap.
San Francisco is a great area for certain legendary, death metal bands when they were coming up, depending on what era he was listening. So,
absolutely. Thrash, death, yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of, you're talking.
I know that Autopsy.
Right.
Yeah.
I was just going to bring them up.
There we go.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But even it's Slayer, Exodus.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exodus, yeah. Violence, Testament, Forbidden, all those bands.
Yep. I opened for Testament.
Oh, there we go.
Whoa.
Nice. Dude, I love that stitch work, though, Chuck. Props to you on that one. That's a good one. That demo.
The only death metal surviving stuff that I have in digital form. Yeah. I was really happy with that. That's 1994, believe it or not.
What was that guy sitting in the chair?
Yeah, that's a good era. Yeah.
Well, it was wild because that's when Eric Rattan came out of Ripping Corpse and went to Morbid Angel, right?
Yep.
And he actually didn't play. He didn't play the track on God of Emptiness, but he ended up in the video. That's exactly the time period. Remember God of Emptiness, that weird video? Bow to
Yeah,
me.
I do.
I remember that too.
Man or whatever in it.
Yeah, bow to me faithfully.
That was featured in Beavis and Butthead. That video.
I do.
Was?
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
But you gotta understand, all around the country when we saw that, Aaron, I know you're an eclectic music guy, but if you were a death metal musician at the time, you were like, yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was great.
We were losing it. We were like, yeah.
What's the first death metal band you remember seeing, Random?
Yeah.
The actual death metal?
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. Probably had to be like maybe Obituary
Okay.
or Autopsy, Incantation, one of these bands, maybe.
Nice.
But I see thrash metal bands before that,
Yeah.
my older brother and whatnot.
Right.
That's cool. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, early 90s. I saw Morbid Angel at the Stone in San Francisco. Yeah, Morbid Angel, Creator, Paradise Lost, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
The Stone, yeah.
You know what's interesting, Random? And tell me if you've noticed this. But kids, I'm talking like kids who are like teenager, maybe young 20s, are super into metal now. And when I go out, like I went out wearing a Blood Incantation long sleeve T-shirt to the mall. I was like buying Christmas presents, and when I was checking out at this like just little like cutesy shop where you buy stuff for your kids, the like 20-year-old cashier was like, "Oh, that's Blood Incantation, right?" I'm like, "Yes." I'm like, "You listen to them?" I'm like, "Yeah, I just started listening to them." And kids like really love all this death metal now. Were you aware of this?
Sort of, but it seems like it's all tinged with like that a little modern emo. I don't know what it is. It's not quite the same as it was like along in the past. They're all like, I don't know, tight. It's like tight pants metal, what I mean? Tight skinny jeans.
Yeah, it's weird.
Death metal.
It's weird now because look, he came up in an era where you got a fanzine and you thought a name was cool in a one paragraph review of a death metal demo, and then you literally would order it from the band for like $5. I mean, this is the reality of where death metal was in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
No internet, nothing.
Yep.
And
I remember me and my friends, we'd go to the record shop, and like we'd each go, okay, you're gonna buy this, and I'll buy this, and then we just trade, solely based on the cover and what they look like on the back and song titles,
Oh yeah.
And everybody,
some of them were just like pop them in so instantaneously. You're like, in the garbage. I'm never listening to this again. $20 down.
Whatever survived, right? Whatever survived. Then you'd sit there making copies. You'd listen to it again because it's like you'd play it in real time and make a double tape a deck copy of it because it was like, I want my copy.
Absolutely.
See, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you a couple of deep cuts from the Jersey metal scene because here's a weird thing too. We would go after stuff from like California and Florida in Jersey because we had access to New York, we had access to Boston. So I'll tell you a band I managed. I don't know if you ever heard of them. You ever hear of Cryptic Realm?
No.
Yeah,
I want to say Torture Crypt. I've heard of them. They're from out there, aren't they?
Those guys were my roommates at the hot dog house, dude.
There you go. Yeah, that one. They have a demo or two. I remember that was pretty badass.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What was it? My favorite song from them was Disassembly.
Whoa.
Yeah, there's a good. They were good.
Yeah, brutal. No, I played a
What
lot
other
of gigs.
Jersey bands are there? There's Ripping Corpse. Yeah. What else is from Jersey?
Well, Ripping Corpse. There. Let me think about this here. Inebriation. The band Inebriation came out of there. A band called Gaffed, which was previously called Ritual.
I've heard of them.
Ritual Torment was those guys went to high school with me.
They're pretty brutal too.
Oh,
they were kind of. Yeah, Gaff wasn't bad.
Definitely, they were.
I feel that we're taking over the Uncle Show with this death metal stuff.
I'm coming to thinking about this a moment.
Yeah,
I
what do you
was
think?
thinking of something.
What's happening, Uncle?
Since we're in the band metal, let's figure out. Let's go all out and say which are your best ones of best metalers.
Oh, are we doing like a top 10 list
Top 10 listenings
of death metal?
Of death metal.
Oh, there we go.
Now go ahead and hit them, and let's see which ones you guys come up with.
And this is direct from Random Death Meddler.
And
no
definitely
less.
death metal. Yeah,
So this is gonna be official.
yeah.
Tell you what, I want to add something to it. I want the best and worst that he ever heard, because I got an easy. I got a hard time picking the best, but I got an easy time picking the worst. And Random Death Meddler knows what I'm talking about. Okay.
Oh, well then.
Yeah,
Because some of these guys,
I'm
was
trying
like,
to think of the worst. There's some bad ones.
He's thinking about it
you know
now.
who was the worst one from Jersey I ever heard? Deteriorate. You remember that?
Oh yes, I do. Not to be confused with Deteriorate
No.
from I believe they were from Chicago or something like that. They're badass.
Right. No,
That
they were
one
great.
album, was it Rotting in Hell or
Yeah.
something like that?
I thought they were from.
Yeah.
I thought they were from Ohio. Actually, weren't they from Ohio?
Or something like that. Yeah, Midwest somewhere, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it could be. Yeah, no doubt. But that one album with this stupid skull drawing on the cover, I mean that one was badass.
Oh my
For sure.
god! But that Deteriorate. Here's the funny.
Deteriorate was awful.
Oh my god!
Awful.
The funniest thing is, look, if you ever looked at the information, because they had a full blown, they put a lot of money into their album cover, and it was like I looked at this thing and I was like, this is like incomprehensible. You know, that was back in the days of like your death metal logo. You couldn't read it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't there- I want to say their claim to fame wasn't somebody that like was in Incantation a part of that deal or something.
Yeah, somehow, right.
Maybe.
Somehow them and a band that I was supposed to front, but then they picked a different guy called Killed by Inches. Was
Okay.
which by the way, I almost got myself into the Murder Junkies at one point, because remember I was a crossover guy. No, seriously, right after Gigi Allen died, they were looking for me. Anyway, that's a wacky story. But no, Deteriorate was the worst death metal band I ever saw. And it was funny because we were like competing North Jersey versus like the Jersey Shore death metal bands. It was like the competition. But no, Deteriorate was the worst. But Deteriorate went to Big Blue Meanie Studio in Hackensack, New Jersey. And they happened to book they spent thousands of dollars for that vomit that they put on vinyl. And I was like, dude, this is the worst sounding thing. And I'm looking at it, and the guy who owned the studio says to me, you know, I asked them not to put my studio's name on that record.
Oh,
he said, at least what you guys are doing makes sense. Like,
oh boy.
You know,
For sure.
because if you listen to what I recorded there, I doubled my own, like I actually had lyrics. Okay. And I doubled what I was doing. Like if I wanted to, I didn't use any effects. It was just, okay, I want my voice to be thicker.
Yeah.
Let me do it again. And I figured out a way to
That's
come up.
that's
the right way.
that was the way back then.
Right.
That's funny. Yeah, but I think
$5,000 on that in like 93 when we went into the studio right after them. And they spent like $5,000, and that's a lot of money in 93 for a demo or an EP.
Yeah.
And then they actually printed it on vinyl and cassettes. Like they had it looked professionally printed. Because there was some, what was it, Century Media or something was part of that deal or something like that, right, Random?
Yeah, I think so. They started getting more of those like black death metal bands like later on, like the Blackened death metal or whatever you want to call it.
Oh yeah, but then
It's like
it was it's somebody
that the Interior Rock, they weren't like brutal death. I remember them being kind of just like they didn't. I mean, their vocals were terrible, like if I recall.
Yeah, no, it was like they went to what do you call it? Like they looked at Napalm Death and said, "No, we can make that way worse."
Nice. So is like the grindcore thing kind of genre, sort of, but bad grindcore.
It was like the what we used to call the polka beat, the whole like the blast beat deal.
Sure.
We used to call that the polka beat because that's really what it was, sped up.
Yeah. Sure.
But really quick. So these guys literally every song was dun 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 dun, 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 dun. And this guy would get on and it literally sounded like this.
Couldn't understand the words. There's one thing I cannot stand.
You don't like that, Uncle?
That was a full album.
I mean, you can't understand the music.
Really?
Not what he just did.
I think
what Chuck just did.
I just heard. You didn't understand what Chuck just said?
Oh,
that moves like a dang tulip.
Just saw it in Mortal Decay, Chuck. That's another one.
Oh God, yeah. Okay.
You know them?
Yeah. No, those
Mortal
guys,
Decay. They
they
have a couple good albums, I would say.
No,
They got some good ones.
Definitely. Did you ever hear of Demonacy?
Never heard these.
One more time?
Demonacy.
No, I have not.
All right. Well, they were big in Jersey for a bit, and they did the whole 2 bass players deal for a bit there. I'll give you one last obscure name though, because they were extremely talented, and it kind of pissed me off. Was Latshaw.
What they do to piss them off?
Oh man, I'll look into it.
You got to look into them, especially their first demo.
Okay,
it's amazing. It's really good. They were mad at the mix of that thing, and I was like, I wish I could do that. And they were rooming with Ripping Corpse in the same. See, there was a rehearsal studio in Asbury Park, and at one point there was like a bunch of these like Bon Jovi, like glam metal guys that were using it as a practice space. Okay. No, seriously, like this place had been around since the 70s.
Wankers in there.
Well, yeah, but this place had been around since the 70s. So, Bruce Springsteen's metal band, in air quotes, Steel Mill, practiced in there, right?
Yeah.
And like across the street, there was a place called the Music Booth where Sebastian Bach and those guys from, Skid Row, which is more respectable than, John Bon Homo. But anyway,
where he come from?
Point is, I hate that guy.
Yeah.
Hey, no.
Oh, there he
I'll
is.
tell you, Skid Row's second album, Slave to the Grind or whatever.
Yes.
That one is, I think that's what it's called. That's his underrated album.
You're right. You're exactly right. And even though Sebastian Bach is a jerk and deserved every time he got punched out in a club in Jersey, I would tell you that he had more talent than any of those guys.
Yeah, well, that early Def Leppard album with the truck on it, that's actually kind of good too. And then we know what happened to them afterwards. So that's kind of
Through the Night. It was a regular rock and roll album. Yeah.
There's
well, didn't that guy lose his arm? I think that's what happened.
I like that.
Romania after their big, like right as their big success was hitting, then he got his arm cut off in that car accident.
Yeah.
But anyway, Yeah, the last one I wanted to mention to you, though, I'm sitting here trying to think of Human Remains. That was the name of the band.
Oh.
You ever heard of it?
I've heard them. Yeah, they were weird. They were kind of ahead of their time, I think.
Yeah, Dave Whitty and those guys, those weird guitar moves that later on people got to hear in Rage Against the Machine, which is really weird because those guys never met. You know what I'm saying? Tom Morello never met Dave Whitty, but somehow that whole that stuff that they were doing with death metal ends up in the Rage Against the Machine. Like, think about that. You know those weird little I don't even know what to call them.
Tom Morello ripped it off of here.
Well, it almost seems that way, doesn't it? Because that stuff they were doing in '87, like when I got out of jail.
Is that a technique you do with the pick, like dragging across the strings? Is that what that is, Chuck? How do you do
it's sort of like, okay, look at it this way. This is not a great description, but it'll give you an idea. You know, like the Eddie Van Halen kind of hammer-on stuff?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, like you're talking about like the taps, right?
Yeah, okay, so imagine the taps, okay, and like harmonics and false harmonics, okay? But here's the thing. You're also using, like, say, the switch or the knob to make it so that you only hear part of it. It's done where it sounds like it's not anywhere near random. It's, you know what I mean? Like,
was he using a kill switch? Because he used a kill switch a lot, right?
Yeah, well,
Tom Morello got a mute switch on his guitar.
Yeah.
Okay,
just tapping that probably right by his palm or something.
Yeah.
Here's the weird thing: is that he could do it with a kill switch or with a knob.
Oh, interesting.
And he would get the same result.
Okay.
Because he had practiced on it. It was weird because other guitarists used to gather around and just like block him from being seen on stage to try and watch what he was doing because it was so weird.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
I'm not kidding. It's like Les Claypool when he was like, you know, innovating the bass.
Yeah.
This guy was doing weird stuff with a guitar.
Yeah.
That
what does Uncle have to say about all this here?
I don't know. Uncle, what do you think? Is this interesting music conversation?
John Block. I was thinking of a couple others after we had this conversation talking about this stuff.
Yeah.
I had thinking about Red Zeppelin.
Yeah.
You know, there's Red Zeppelin. How do you like them?
I love them. Yeah, they're great.
I'm not a fan.
I listen to that now. I listen to that kind of song.
I love him. Love him too. He's good.
Well, because the way they sing that song, if you think a minute,
the one,
mm-hmm. It's like stepping up to a ladder. If you really think about it and listening to that,
I believe the title's "Ladder to Heaven."
Yeah. That's the name of it.
I know.
And the words say what it is. At least it's a song that you can understand.
I know, for once.
For one.
About time.
That's one that you can understand it, though.
Exactly.
I mean, half these songs you can't understand half of them.
What's up, Joe?
I have a great podcast idea for you. Play Stairway to Heaven for Uncle for, like, you know, a couple clips, right?
Oh yeah, well, I can do that. I do that.
Pentagram that they ripped off for Stairway to Heaven, please.
Yes, we'll do that.
You like that, Uncle?
I like that idea.
I would love for Uncle to sit and listen to, here's the original band and here's where the people that stole it. And because Led Zeppelin stole almost everything
from
somebody else.
They did.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They did.
Oh, well, okay. I'll do that.
There we go.
We'll get
I would love for you to hear it, though, so that you go, wait a minute, which one's better, the original or what they did with it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, can you play that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And not all the originals.
You.
Can I play what?
Uncle,
what are you talking about here? I want to hear that.
Wait. Big on some Testament or something like that.
Yeah.
Testament? Yeah. I could play some death metal and see what Uncle thinks of it.
Yeah, you can play.
Uncle reacts to death metal. One of those.
Listen
Uncle
to
Strike,
that.
yeah.
That's
you can
what
get
I
down
like
with
to do. Because what I look for, the singer that sings the song, for Pete's sakes. Because half these singers,
Hammer Smashed Face,
they don't sing the proper song and you can't understand it.
I know when you hear.
This is what I'm talking
Uncle
about.
wants to hear the lyrics of Grotesque Impalement. He wants to understand. He wants to hear clearly what's going on.
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
lyrics,
That's
right?
my point. That's my thought on this
That
stuff.
makes sense.
That what everybody is doing, talking about right now
Not
tonight.
too much to ask for.
This is what I'm asking.
I think
That's
we-
it.
We'll
Simple.
we'll make the right calls and we'll make sure that happens. I think we could do that.
Okay.
I will mention that Creative Accents and Count Pupper have been in the chat. Sorry, we haven't been responding too much. They're there.
Let's see what they have to say. Yeah. Well,
I know that Count Pupper was saying earlier that he was in a glam metal band at one point, and that perhaps we would beat him up for it. And he feels a little ashamed about it, but he was just putting that out there that at one point he was in one of them. That's kind of interesting. So we didn't know that.
Well, dude, my friend's a good friend of mine. His cousin is the bassist for Warren. I mean, he's telling me these guys, they all dress like literally women. They dress like women, but they were getting more chicks than you could ever imagine, bro. It's wild, you know.
Yeah.
Like, back in the day. Like literally looks like a woman. Goes out and he's the hottest chicks you could ever imagine. But, dude, go figure.
Hey, you never know.
Ramirez literally was walking around in a dress, and I mean, I knew 3 of his regular girls in Jersey. I mean, you know, what are you going to do?
holy
Yeah, I don't know. It's wild.
It's rock,
Yeah, I don't know. Never
rock and roll.
wrapped my head around that one.
No, I would never touch those women, I'll tell you that. But
Don't think
God
too
knows.
much. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, well, this has been a great episode, man. This is so exciting. Random. I want to thank you again for not just calling in, but for all the awesome. You sent me death metal stuff, like stickers in the mail. You sent me shirts in the mail. You sent me like so much cool stuff over the years. So I am gonna legitimately take this opportunity to say thank you. Thanks, man. It's really cool. Appreciate that.
Oh, dude, yeah, man. Thank you for the shot glass. That was great. I saw that. It totally caught me by surprise. I was like, what is this?
I was shocked just opening up the package. I mean, I was shocked. Talking about shotgun drop glass.
Right. Now, here's where we're going to close out the show, but in honor of the fact that Random Death Metaler called in, I'm going to add, right after the Uncle outro, we're going to play a randomly selected metal track from my personal library.
Nice. Awesome, Chuck.
Okay,
I like
that
that.
sounds interesting.
Oh,
We
yeah.
can hear it.
I
Then
love
what
it.
it's going to sound like.
Yeah, very exciting.
We're the witness of a good one or not a sound one.
Oh, yeah.
We have to listen.
Oh, well, on the next show, we'll have to come back, Uncle, and rate Chuck's song from 1 to 10.
Well, yeah.
That's what we
We'll
can
do that.
That'll be on the next show.
The next show when I get back.
But for now, we better get to shout-outs, since we do have, I guess, we want to do shout-outs now, Uncle, before we wrap this thing up?
You know who gets first?
I know who
He's
gets
on it.
Uh-huh.
He was the first one caller. He gets the call. He gets the shout out first.
All right, Random.
Random, you up?
Who you got for shout-outs?
I didn't know it was that time.
What?
already. What time is
My
it?
shout outs
Yeah.
Yeah.
to who?
Whoever you
to
want.
anybody, if since
I'm
you're
not sure.
you're not okay, all right. You don't want to say
Yeah, to everybody in the world. Don't let the bastards grind you down. Whatever, you know. One day at a time.
Nice.
All right, I like it. I like it.
Shout out I've heard.
That's the best shout out you've heard.
From a guy that talks hot metal.
Hot metal, yeah.
I mean, he is one that does hot metal.
Straight
I
from
mean,
the
metal.
straight from the foundry.
Foundry, yeah. The first one I ever heard.
I like it. All right. Well, Random, thank you so much, man. Feel free to call in anytime.
Yeah.
It was genuinely exciting to talk to you, man. Take it
Yeah,
easy.
following, get around to it.
Yeah, if I can kind of think of something interesting to add to the conversation, I will.
All right.
right.
Please do, man.
Yeah.
Anytime. You know the number. So thank
got
you
the
so
number.
much. Uncle, do you want to give a shout out now? You got one?
And a shout out to my regular people and the out of towners. And I'm saying appreciate you listening about shout out. I mean that caller tonight.
Yeah.
that Chuck said. Shout out to him.
Yeah, I guess I'll do a quick shout out to all the kids that are actually listening to death metal now. I know that they're going back and listening to old stuff, and it's crazy. That shout out, and I have seen videos of dying fetus playing shows. I think at like festivals and stuff, and the size of the crowd blows my mind now. So it's amazing what's happening these days in that scene. It's almost unbelievable.
One other question.
What's that?
In the carnivals that we go to,
the carnivals, okay,
we get these bands. At least we can understand them. I mean, the last one we went to at the South Florida Fair, it was this one band, and I could understand them.
Well, yeah. Shout out to them. Shout out to the bands we understand.
Yeah, that's it.
Chuck, did you want to do a shout out real quick?
You want to do a shout out?
No, I'm good, but I just appreciate the fact that Random Death Meddler called in, and I appreciate everybody. Thank you so much.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, fun show. Very fun show. This. Okay. So I guess with that, UncleThePodcast.com, liveonocelli.com every Friday night at Uncle Podcast and all the social medias, the TikTok and all that. Uncle, why don't you bring us on home for the week?
$309.99 over, and watch out for my text in the text form for this band.
Watch
Gonna
out.
Play with my Tic Tac, my Tic Tac man.
Yeah, watch out for that.
Yeah, watch out for the Tic Tac. We don't have that on tonight, though, but.
Yeah. All right.
Spiritual.
We'll see you next time, everybody.
See you next time, baby. Let's hear this song. I'm waiting on the song that he's going to show.
Exiled from the ashes, reborn chaotically.
Goodbye.
South